And I was really only a simp once in my life. And unfortunately, it wasn't with either of my boyfriends. Hey guys, welcome to another video that you wish you didn't click on. Today we're going to be educating ourselves, but instead of doing what we should do, which is, look up scientific sources and all that jazz, we're going to be using Urban Dictionary, partly because I feel like that's the vibe that our society seems to be taking, so let's roll with it for the sake of this video. This first phrase sounds dumb, but if you take a second and actually think about it, it's pure genius. It's called Edward 40 hands. When you tape a 40 to each hand and can't take them off until you finish drinking. Where was this when I was in university? But now that we're more mature, refined, some might say educated, I think that we should switch out the 40s and use water instead. That way, you're going to be hydrated and both of your hands are going to be occupied, so you can't be creeping your ex on social media. Win-win situation. Now on to one that's actually going to help you in school. Had I used this, I probably would have gotten accepted into medical school. The clock method. A method of guessing on a multiple choice test that involves looking at the position of the second hand. If the hand is between 12 and 3, then it's A. If it's between 3 and 6, then it's B. And so on. Hopefully I did that right because I think it's going to be inverted once I'm actually watching it. If not, I did it on the wrong side and it's okay. We all make mistakes. But your mistakes will be significantly decreased with the clock method, because think about the time that you spent analyzing multiple choice questions when you don't know the answer. You go back to your previous answers, you're like, I haven't used C in a while, maybe it's that one. Then you're just wasting precious brain power. With the clock method, you just don't know the answer, you'll look up, it's like 1 second, and you put it down. Now that I know about this clock method, I actually want to start using it in my everyday life because I'm a very indecisive person. So having this technique could potentially save me time and money. Although I don't know how it's going to save me money, but it's something people say. All I have left to do is buy an analog clock. I want to briefly continue what I mentioned at the beginning of the video where, nowadays it's kind of hard to differentiate what's fact, what's myth when there's so much information being thrown at us. But this next one, I want to assure you, is pure fact. It is so true that I have to give a disclaimer and say I too am ashamed of it. It's soy face. It's a face of fiend excitement, mimicking many YouTube thumbnails. After this video, I feel like all the comments on my videos are going to be like, there she goes with her soy face again, because now I actually gave you a term for it, which is gonna be fun, but I mean, maybe this is the way that I start getting comments on my videos, like, better to tell me that I have soy face than to tell me nothing at all. So I guess think of the positive. Any comment is a good comment. So I've actually heard of this next term. It's called simp. Someone who does way too much for a person they like. I figured it was appropriate since it is 2021. And we have to ask ourselves, are we doing too much for people who aren't doing anything in return? Because we saw in 2020 time is precious and we should not be wasting it on people who are not doing anything for nurturing our inner soul. Wow. I didn't want to go that deep, but it just sort of took me there. Now that we're thinking about it, we're going to recognize it and we're going to prevent it. And I'm reflecting back on myself. And I was really only a simp once in my life. And unfortunately, it wasn't with either of my boyfriends. This next one kind of has similar vibes. It's called foodie call. A person who goes on dates with the sole purpose of getting a free dinner. Girl or boy, I First of all, I'm happy to see that there is a name given to people like this, because not cool, but also like, I mean, I feel like it's very, very common. I've personally never done it just because I don't have the patience for it. I can't even imagine going on a date with someone that like I have no interest in and having to sit through that meal, which is like 2 to 3 hours long. Hopefully it would be shorter, but you know, usually dates are that long, and have to listen to them and not be interested in them just to get a meal. And I'm thinking like, okay, let's say that the date is 3 hours, meaning your hourly rate is like $33. So technically it's like, are you really getting a lot there? I don't know. I mean, it, I guess, depends on if you're getting caviar, but yeah, I just don't feel like it's worth it. I'm the type of person that I don't even like it when a guy buys me a drink. I mean, I would rather be hungry and thirsty than have to engage in a conversation with someone that I don't want to, which kind of makes me sound like a loner now that I'm thinking about it, but you know what I mean? Like, I mean, you guys already know that I don't have patience, so I guess that's just one of the things that I don't have patience for. People who do not entertain me. And if you ask me how I want to be entertained, I don't know. Probably why I'm single. I want to thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe if you did.